Good evening, folks. I'm back once again to give you a little tale that took place many, many years ago. This tonight we're going to talk about a brother of mine. My brother's name was F. Knight, and that's E-F-F, named after my father. And he passed away back in the year 2000. But before he passed away, we had a long life together. Years ago, we used to hunt together, and on this particular time, we were hunting down around a place called Due West in near Abbeville, South Carolina. He was a couple of miles away from me where he was hunting that day, and I drove over at dinner time to meet him. And when I pulled up there, got a shot from him because something wasn't right. I seen him standing in the road, and he was deer hunting now, but he had a .22 pistol. It's a Ruger Single Six. And by the way, this gun is empty. But he had this gun in his hand, one hand. In the other hand, he had this sort of antlers in his hand. Good points on it, good rack. If you notice at the bottom, excuse me, you see it looks real white. There's a big chunk out missing right there, missing from the main beam, right at the base. Anyway, he was standing there in the road, waiting for me to pull up. When I pulled up, he had this gun in one hand, pointed it toward his head, had the rack in his head, put it on the other side of his head, gun up here. And I'm like, you don't point a gun at your head. You don't do something like that because it might be loaded. But anyway, and I looked at him and I said, that's not a funny thing to be doing, son. But as I looked at him, I seen his eyes, and there was tears running down both sides of his face. Tears just coming down. And then that worried me. And I thought, he got a gun in his head, got a deer antler on the other side, he got tears coming down his face. And I said, F, what the heck are you doing? He said, I just want to blow my brains out. I said, well, if you keep pointing the gun at yourself, you're probably going to do it. He said, well, I don't really want to, but I need to. I said, what's going on? He said, well, you know what I was hunting with today? I said, yeah, I sure do. You're hunting with a 45-70. He said, that's right. So he was hunting with a 45-70. And he had 22 along. He carried it for snakes. And just sometimes at dinner time, we'd shoot targets. And that's why he had 22. But the gun he was toting that day was a Marlin. It was a 45-70 lever action. And once again, this gun's empty also. But he had a scope on it, Redfield 2x7, and it had the wide view like a TV picture tube. They don't make them anymore, I don't think, but that was a good gun to use. Good gun, good scope. But this gun packed a wallop. And if you loaded it with the factory ammunition that come with it, so the old 45-70 was originally a black powder round, only about 1,100 feet per second, shot about a 405 grain lead bullet. Well, it didn't have much of a recoil really, but it was a big bullet, and it could punch a good sized hole in a deer or bear or whatever. But I hand loaded, and you couldn't use it in an old original gun, but in the modern gun with a new steel, you could really jack the velocity up and really make that old round dang near like a magnum. So I'd hand loaded him hand loads. What he was shooting, instead of the 405 grain, he was shooting a 300 grain hollow point. Now that's smaller diameter, but it's moving a lot faster. And when I hand loaded it, instead of 1,100 feet per second, the thing was 22 100 feet per second. So about twice the speed and about 33 foot-pounds. If I got it right, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time. Yeah, 3,225 foot-pounds of energy. 3,225 foot-pounds of energy. Now that's like almost like a 458 Weatherby or Winchester. You take the Africa or elephant. Old gun, when you handled it right, it could do it. But the only thing about it, and it was accurate, very accurate, but it kicked like a mule. Man, did it kick. And because of that, I had a 300 Winchester mag at that time. I used to rifle hunt. Hadn't done it in years, but back then I had a 300 Winchester mag, and I was having a muzzle brake put on it. So I had a gunsmith that was going to do the work for me. Well, my brother told me, he said, Donnie, he said, that gun is awesome at 45-70, but it kicks like a mule. So you reckon he can put a muzzle brake on it too? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could. So we carried it down there, and he looked at it, and he said, yeah, he said, tell you what, I'm doing one right now for 458 Winchester. Fella's taking it to Africa. He said, I'll do them both at the same time. So what he did, he made a muzzle brake for it. And if you get an idea of you can see what it looks like. He custom made it. It's fit right in there. Beautiful. Beautiful job. Well, it definitely made a difference. It made a big difference. But here's the thing. It still kicked like a mule. Just a smaller mule. When we went back and picked up my 300 mag, the old man handed us the guns, handed my brother that gun. And my brother said, well, how was it? He said, oh, it done great. It done great. He said, I've never done a 45-70 like that. He said, but I just didn't understand why that thing kicks so bad. That's an old round. He said, we left the ammunition to use, you know. Well, the ammunition I left was the 300 grain hollow points that I custom loaded. He didn't know that. He just knew it was in the box. And he assumed it was a factory box, but it wasn't. He said, I shot that 458 Winchester. The fellow's taking Africa and said, it kicks. But boy, that muzzle brake, it helped. He said, I shot that 45-70 of yours. He said, man, it rocked me back on my feet. He said, and that's with a muzzle brake. He said, I never shot it before we put the muzzle brake on it. He said, you got something there, son. He said, man, that thing is a killer on both ends. So we laughed about it. Anyway, that's what he was hunting with that day. 45-70. And he told me, he said, I was sitting on the ridge, sitting on the ground, in a little bit blind. He made a little blind. He said he'd been sitting there probably about 10:30 in the morning. He said, hadn't seen nothing. There was a good buck trail probably about 45, 50 yards up the ridge on the side of the hill. He knew it was there. That's what he was watching for a deer crossing through the woods. Nothing had come through. Well, about, this is something, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, Mother Nature hit him. He got a cramp in his stomach, and it wasn't going away. He said, oh, Lord, I've got to go to the bathroom. I got to go now. So he got up, walked a few yards off down the woods there, dropped the old 45-70 up against a tree, laid her up against a tree, dropped his pants, bent over, and commenced to doing what a man's got to do when he's got to do it. So there he is, boy. He's saying, whew, man, I need to do that bad. I need to do that. He's bent over, and he hears something. He just kind of looks over his left shoulder, back up that hill. And guess what he sees? There goes this big buck, right over top of that hill. He's just walking up the ridge. He has no idea. My brother's sitting down there, squatting down there. Well, my brother got his pants down around his legs. He ain't got time to pull his pants up and reach over and get the gun and everything. What does he do? He just reaches over and grabs that 45-70. This is his chance. This is it. Throws it up, puts it right on him. Pow! Pull the trigger. Guess what happened? When that 45-70 goes off, he's still squatting down. It knocks him from flying backwards, flat on his back. Boom. You know what he was just doing? Guess where he went? Right on top. Right on top. Oh, it laid him out good. Well, when he gets up, he commenced to cleaning himself off. And up the hill he goes. That was a big buck. He gets up there, and we're kind of over the hilltop. And he knew where he was at when he shot, about 45 yards. He gets up there, and the deer's not there. It's okay. This gun here shoots a big bullet. By the way, give you an idea what it looks like. That right there is 45-70 with a 300 grain Hornady hollow point. So, anyway, he gets up there and he's looking for a deer. He don't see him. Well, he can see 60, 70 yards off the other side of the hill. And he's looking down there. He don't see the deer either. He said, man, I can't believe that deer can run that far after I hit him. So when he shot, he told me, he said, when I shot, as I was going backwards, I seen the deer go completely head over heels. He did a flip him over. And the deer was going over and coming down on his back. As my brother went over on his back. So they both went down at the same time. And when he got up, he went up there, he assumed the deer would still be laying there. But he wasn't. So he's looking around for blood, you know, and all of a sudden he sees a drop of blood on the ground. He said, all right, there I got it. And he reached down, but it's just a small spot. He looked at that there, and as he looks up, as he raises his head up, they're about 6 foot away, there lays this big antler. And he looks over there, he's like, what? He walks over and picks it up, and right there, that's where he hit. He shot the antler right off the deer. He blew his antler off. And the recoil flipped the deer slap over upside down. But it didn't knock him out evidently, because he got up and he was gone. My brother got up. So my brother, at that time, that would have been the biggest deer my brother ever killed. So when I got there, he really was crying. There were tears coming down. So that gun would drop an elephant or a grizzly bear, but it wasn't made to shoot antlers off deers. That's what he did. He shot the antlers off. Nice rifle, big bullets, big rack, and a very, very sad brother. This happened back around 1986. Been a long time ago. He died year 2000. So, I'll always remember that. Okay, that was the end of the story, but it's true too.